after that collections. Okay. And then we'll cover Java 8 basics, which will have the Lambda API. Okay. In between, if some internal topics are there, that I'll cover, but these are the major topics that I'm referring here. Okay. So this is in the Java part. And then if we see the Spring Boot part, right? So in the Spring Boot, like basic Spring Boot configuration, what is Spring Boot, what is Spring Starter, those things. Okay. And there are many different annotations in the Spring Boot. So we'll start with the like bare minimum annotations that we need to be for any application to be treated as a Spring Boot application. Okay. Then we have many different modules in the Spring Boot. So modules is nothing but the features, I would say, extra features or internal features that Spring Boot provide to us, like AOP module, some health check is there, some security part is there. So there are many different modules are there. So we'll see on a very high level on that. Okay. And then the dependency injection, which is the most important feature of the Spring Boot. Okay. And then we'll see the Spring Boot configuration and the custom configuration. So there are few things which we can configure in the Spring Boot, like basic configurations. Okay, when we'll deal with the web service. So those configurations, and I'll also cover the Spring profiles. So like in enterprise, we work with the many different environments, right? Dev, SIT, production, or you can say dev, stage, and then production. Some have beta, gamma, like that. So how to do configuration for these environments in the code. So that will also cover. Then we have this JPA part. So like this JPA will help us to reduce the implementation for writing the queries. Okay. So when we interact with the database, so then the JPA comes in picture. So if you don't want to use JPA, then we have the normal Hibernate option. Even if you don't go with the Hibernate, then we have the normal native SQL part. Okay. So that is also there, but JPA is preferred along with Hibernate. So to ease the, I would say, connection pool and all. So when you are working with enterprise applications, heavy workload, right? Heavy production workload. So in that case, that managing the connection, managing the session, that becomes very difficult. So those things we don't need to manage, that Spring manages internally. So that's why this JPA and Hibernate comes in picture. Okay, so in any web service, we have this service layer. So service layer is kind of, so mainly in any web service, we have three layers. One is where we define the APIs, like what is the API, what is the input, what is the output. Then the second layer, which is this service layer, where we will write the business logic. Okay. So let's say you gave some input to the API, then what logic should be implemented in that API? Based on that, it will give that output, expected output. So that is there in the service layer. Then we have the third layer as DAO layer, data access object. Okay. So we discussed this JPA part, right? So this comes under the DAO layer, or you can say DAO layer. Okay. So DAO is purely where that part will interact with the database. So this is the, you can say, front layer, this API part, where we have this APIs get, post, put, delete, patch. Okay. So these are the basic 4-5 APIs. So this we will cover, and we'll cover the tool Postman, like how to use these APIs in Postman. Okay. Then we have this Spring Boot security part. So let's say you want to secure your API so that like people with some particular role can only access it. So there are many different authentication methods. Okay, authentication and authorization part. So based on that, you can configure it, but we'll go with the basics only. Okay. After that, like implementing the Kafka, like sending the message into the Kafka topic and receiving it. So those things we'll cover in the last, and will, I would say, merge that existing project that will create, right, with basic Spring Web Service demo, same thing will further integrated with this Kafka implementation part, so that the same project you can understand better, like it is being, how we can like introduce the Kafka and integrate it with different things. Okay. So, and now let's come back to this Java part. Okay. So that installation I'm not showing. So anyone wants to see installation part also, or installation is fine? So you just need to install Java 8 in your Lambda. Okay. So basically, like if you go to Oracle, right? So if you search for JDK 8 download based on your machine, Windows or iOS. So there is this Oracle website. You need to register here, and you can download the latest JDK version available in JDK 8. Okay, so in JDK 8 also this 2.11 is, you can say, minor version. 8 is a major version. So based on your operating system, Linux, Mac OS, so you can download it. So you can install this 64-bit. Okay. So along with JDK, you will get JRE also. So this very small overview I'm giving right now, I don't have that presentation. It's in a different laptop. So tomorrow I'll have that presentation. Okay. So we have three things. Yeah. Anyone saying anything? Okay. So we have these things. First is this Java virtual machine. Then we have this JRE. You can say toolkit or kit. Anything. Okay. So JVM is basically that where your code will run. Okay. And this is basically platform dependent. Okay. I'm just giving you high level as of now, but we'll cover properly when I have the presentation tomorrow. Okay. And this JRE and JDK, they are platform independent. Okay. Why? Because this JVM is platform dependent, but this JRE and JDK, they are platform independent. So this JVM is there in JRE. Okay. And this JRE is there in JDK. So if you just install the JRE, right? So there are two things. So first, when you just want to, you can say, run your code. Okay. So for Java, we write Java source code in .java file. Okay. It then converted into .class file. This .class is a bytecode. And this Java is a human readable format. So this .java file is a human readable format, and it is converted to .class file. So this .class file, you can move it to any machine. Okay. So even if you move it to any machine, based on that JDK JVM, your code will execute, but the output will remain same. Okay. Based on whatever input you are giving, the output will remain same in the system where it is developed, and as compared to the system where it is being run, if they are different systems. Okay. So now let's say you don't want to develop, you already have a .class file, so you don't need JDK. Okay, you just need JRE, and JVM is inbuilt in JRE as well as in JDK. Okay, and that will take care to execute this .class file and give you the output. Now there comes this JDK. So if you need any manipulations into the .java file, basically in your source code, then you need this JDK. With just JRE, you cannot do that. Okay. So that's the high level difference between JDK and JRE. And JDK internally have JRE to run it, okay, to run this .class files. And JVM will anyway there because JRE have the JVM. Okay. So that is on a very high level on this Java part. And in terms of IDE, so I would suggest, like, if you are going to practice anywhere, then use your notepad first, okay, and then through like normal commands, I'll show you the commands later. Through that normal commands, you compile your file, okay, your source code file, and convert it to .class and then run it. Because in that way, it will be easy for you to remember the syntaxes line by line, mainly the basic syntaxes, okay. Yeah. So one more thing that we need to cover is loops. Now for that IDE, either you can download the Eclipse IDE or Java EE developers. So currently this 2022-09, this is the latest version that they have released. Okay. So you need to download this Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. So based on your machine, Windows, Mac OS or Linux, you download it. And if you want, you can use IntelliJ also. So this is by JetBrains. Okay, it is also similar to that of IntelliJ, but only the interface is little different. Many people in enterprise prefer this IntelliJ over Eclipse, but yeah, there are developers who prefer Eclipse also. So this community edition is free, but this ultimate edition is chargeable. Okay, so you can download this community edition. So I think you have this exe file, you can install it. Okay, so any doubts on these things? So this setup you can do on your machine. And hello.
Yeah, no doubt on it, on those.
Okay, and you need one more thing. Okay, that is Maven. Now what is Maven? Okay, so when we work with the Spring Boot, right, when we start with the Spring Boot, so in the Spring Boot, like we need to get the dependencies in the sense, like there are some different projects or different small projects or utilities are created. Okay, so we have this Maven repository. Okay, so this is the Maven repository. It is used worldwide. Okay, so all the public utilities which are available, they are hosted here. Okay, with their versions. So we have three things mainly: group ID, artifact ID, and the version. So the first part is the group ID. This one, this software, like let's say you are getting this one, right? If I open it, you will understand it. So we have this group ID as software.amazon.aws SDK, then this artifact ID and this version. So it is nothing but, let's say you have created one code base, and that is kind of a utility which other people can use. Okay, so you can host it on this Maven repository, and you just need to define this group ID, artifact ID, and version. So group ID is something where that whatever further utilities you will release, right, that will be grouped under this group ID. And this artifact ID is basically one particular utility name, okay, that you will provide, or you can say one project name. And this version, so you will keep on updating it for the betterment. So that's why you have this version number, so that if some people are using your older version and suddenly you change something, so they should not be in trouble. If they keep on using the old version, they will be stable. If they want to upgrade, they can see your changes and upgrade accordingly. So mainly for Java, we have two things, Maven and Gradle. Okay. So similar to that of Maven, we have this Gradle also. So these are the build tools. Okay. Build tools, mainly you can say packaging tools. So kind of what packaging you need. So that's how they work. Okay. So that things we'll see in detail. Okay. Once we go with the Spring Boot part. Before this, we don't need. Okay, is it clear? And you can download this Maven, and it's kind of a plug and play. Okay, you just need to keep it in your C drive. We'll use it later. You can this binary zip. You can
Can you
get
share the link?
this link.
Yeah. And for Oracle download, I see we have to create an account first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any chat option here. You can just search for Maven download. Okay, just search for Maven download, and very first link you will get is this one only.
Okay, and in this one, which one do we have to download?
So in this, you need to download this binary. Yeah,
Okay.
I think binary source one. Okay, let me see. Binary only.
Binary zip. Okay.
If there is any change, I'll let you know. But for now, you can use binary.
Okay, sure.
And like this Maven will need later. First, we need this Java only and this IDE. Okay.
Okay.
So IDE, you can choose anyone, either this IntelliJ or Eclipse, your choice. Okay. Yeah. So like that's it for today. Just to overview, I connected today, and from tomorrow we can start in depth.
Sure.
So any questions, anything so far? If you want me to cover anything else which you're expecting.
Hi, ma'am. This is Jyotsna.
Yeah. Hi, Josna.
Hi. Are you covering that OOPS concepts also?
Yeah, we'll cover that. So this inheritance, polymorphism, that abstraction, and that other things will also come.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll mention it as oops. That's fine. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So we are good for today. Yeah. From tomorrow, we'll start with the proper training.